Our training, we talked about having different materials, different types of coatings for different materials. Can you put metal coat, ZR53, NL272 on glass? Yeah, you can put it on there. It's not going to last. It's not the right material. To give you an idea, those products were designed for, plastics and polymers and, basically what we're using for modern paint systems. It works great on all sorts of hard surfaces. Except glass is so incredibly hard that the mechanism for bonding doesn't work the same. So you have to use a different system. So we have different coatings for glass. One of the things that's so different about GlasShield is that if you were to look at the SDS sheet for it, you would typically see that the paint coatings are around a pH of about 5.5 or so. So they're slightly acidic. And that's not enough to actually get a good bond to glass. So pH on these is about 1.5. Very acidic. It helps with the bonding mechanism so that way you get good adhesion, and that's where you're going to get your durability. Even though you can take NL272 that has like a 5-year durability rating on it, it won't stick to this right. So what ends up happening is it will fail in a short period of time. It's just the wrong material for that surface. Does that make sense? Okay. So GlasShield, we actually have 2 different versions of GlasShield. Who here is currently offering glass coatings? Okay, when you do glass coatings, do you do all the glass or you do only windshields? Windshield only. Okay, so we have something for you guys. GlasShield in a wipe form. So this is like a baby wipe. And again, this is still a kit. So we still have the gloves, but we also have clean actually comes in a towelette as well. So basically you can use this to clean the glass. We're gonna just go ahead and save that for later. And we'll use clean to prep the surface with a microfiber. If you are only doing the glass windshields, only doing that surface area, let me get rid of this. The reason that we have something like this is it's super easy to use. And this is leaving lint like crazy. So I'm hoping that this is going to clean that off because I don't want Sarah to have this on there. Okay. So you're going to take your towel. And this is for the driver's side or the passenger side. Doesn't matter. But you're going to take your towel, you're going to open it up all the way. I know we're detailers, so we want to fold everything in quarters, but not this time. So we're going to put it on the surface. We're not going to rush. We are not going to hit the trim. More about that later. But we are basically going to do about half the windshield. And we're going to keep coming back with this same towel and wiping. There's plenty of material on here that will allow you to get a big piece of glass, at least half of a big piece of glass, coated. I stay away from the edges for a very good reason. There are obviously solvents in here to keep it wet and keep it flowing and everything else. And it can actually get onto like plastic trim, rubber, things like that. Start to clean it and then pull it into the glass that I'm trying to treat and make crystal clear. And the result is I get streaks. It contaminates my glass coating. How's that look? If you get high spots with this, you can just re-wet that area and off you go. This is so forgiving. Does anybody watch the YouTube channel Project Farm by any chance? So Project Farm is just kind of an independent guy. He gets products and he tests them. And then he puts his results on there based off of like his measurements. He just did GlasShield wipes this week against like Rain-X and a bunch of other products. It worked really, really well, but where he gave us the biggest ding on his rating scale was ease of application. And that's because you can see that this is a big piece of glass, and this one wipe did this big piece of glass here. He was doing small sections. So when he wiped it on, it just stayed wet, and he had to keep wiping and wiping and wiping and wiping. So it skewed the results. Other than that, the performance was fantastic. GlasShield wipes are going to cost you about $10. It's going to last on this windshield for a year, or 15,000 miles of driving, or 40,000 cycles of the wipers rubbing back and forth across it.
That was one of the feedbacks, the question the customer had was, after putting GlasShield, how does it affect the scratching with wipers? I just don't know, hey, your proper maintenance on the wipers, it should be fine, but if they're at rocks or dirt or buildup, it doesn't matter what you have, it's going to scratch your dog.
Right. So if you're only doing windshields, I recommend using the GlasShield wipes. They're cost effective and they're easy to install. The other version of GlasShield is twice as good. The performance characteristics are literally double. 2 years, 80,000 cycles of the wipers, 30,000 miles of driving. It's serious stuff. And it's super easy to install as well. But we ask that once you break open this bottle, you use it within a week. So if you're only doing windshields and you don't have enough windshield jobs lined up to do, unless you're willing to kind of burn the bottle, this is better for doing all the glass on one vehicle at a time than to only do windshields. So we tried to make a job size pack for people who only want to do the windshields. And then for everybody else, there's enough in here to do all the glass, sunroofs, the whole 9 yards. The only exception that I've found so far is that it won't have enough material for. My wife has a Tesla Model Y with a giant piece of glass as the roof. So that one basically gets its own bottle. But nothing sticks to it. You don't get water spots. It's freaking awesome.
And if you're doing details, this is your perfect fries. I always talk about when I'm doing sales, this is your fries. You already got detail in there. This is a perfect add-on. Even if you use one of those bottles per car, which you can make off of the profit, pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you got half a bottle left from the last one you just did the windshield on, you can snatch that for $50.
So here is the version that I love the most. This is the GlasShield spray. So again, another full kit. A very familiar looking trigger that you've seen on the clean little baby bottles and on metal coat. Same setup. By the way, we've used 3 different coatings in here so far. Anybody getting headaches? Feeling lightheaded?
Because I'm hungry, but I don't know.
That's just normal for me.
Because what?
Maybe because I'm hungry, but I don't know. I don't know if it's a
I'll
smart
feed you, man.
Jeremy.
It did. I got you, Jeremy. But am I talking to myself or am I talking? Okay. So GlasShield, the way that the instructions used to read is basically, we want you to spray a lot of material on the surface. We basically want to have you flood the surface with this GlasShield. The reason is we need to have a certain amount of material that sticks to the glass. And people were using far too little. They were using it more like a glass cleaner, where you just spray it on a couple of sprays you could see that it covered the whole surface, and then they would start wiping. The problem is that there was nowhere near enough product on there, and you would go to wipe it, and it would just stick. The towel would just stick to the surface. So we were getting negative feedback on that. So the instructions read, pull the trigger 20 to 30 times per half of the windshield. Nobody was doing that. So what I try to teach everybody is probably the easiest way to do this, which is to, again, make it into little bite sizes and chop up this portion of the glass into easy to bite, but easy to digest bite-sized pieces. Now, again, so this is kind of a special cloth. It's lint-free. It's really not absorbent. But the big thing here is you do not use standard microfiber towels on this. They all have microfiber lint, all of them. They just don't have any lint-free microfiber towels. So you'll see thousands that's what happened when I wiped it with the clean. I got all this little lint in there. This is lint-free, it's not microfiber. It's kind of a stretchy material. You can reuse these. They don't get stiff and hard, so hang on to them. So this is all I do. Pull the trigger 4 or 5 times, leave the cloth open. I palm it right in the middle, move it around. That section's done. That section's done. So if you get anybody you see talking about a bad experience installing GlasShield, you've got to kind of question why they were not getting good results. This is easy. Doesn't matter if you're using the spray version or if you're doing the wipe version, it is easy. You guys get the point? All right. Any questions on GlasShield? Okay. Yeah, I'll get back there. Want to kind of wet this up a little bit better again. Those of you that live in winter climates that see snow, ice, freezing rain, this will actually help delay the formation. Yep, thank you. This will actually help delay the formation of ice and frost and stuff like that. It makes it so much easier to remove. The clarity is fantastic even when it's not raining, but when it rains, low speed is enough to be able to get it to blow right over the top. The coating is so different from the paint coatings. This actually goes on like 75 to 100 nanometers, so less than half of what metal coat does. Totally different technology, completely different technology for glass. It's just not the same material, so we need to make sure that we have the right product for that surface. All right? All right. Lunch is here.